What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the MentALIty podcast with Noor and Waheed here.
What's up?
And start it, Noor. What's up?
Yeah, so I guess we're just going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the
The
submarine
big
or what?
elephant in the room.
big submarine in the ocean.
Submarine in the ocean.
Every article, every social media platform, it just constantly shows it. Yeah, let's talk about it.
I've been beaten over the head with
I'm
this,
I'm curious, when did you guys start knowing about it? When did you hear
Upon the
about
third meme when I kept scrolling and I was like, this
No, like
goddamn
today?
submarine.
Did you learn about it today
No,
or
no.
like
It was
yesterday?
the first day it was gone missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sunday went missing. I believe Monday is when I heard about it.
Heard about it? Yeah, same.
You?
Yeah, it was like Monday. Yeah, night. Yeah, Sunday night, Monday. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, this is probably old, right? I'm like, whatever. And then the next day, everywhere. Just every
CNN,
second thing.
Every
No, but there's an
media
update like
platform.
every few hours, like
Yeah.
saying like, oh, they still haven't found it. I'm like, well, no shit, the ocean's huge.
The thing is, like, these, like, I don't want to diminish 5 lives. These are very important people, you know. But, bro, there's so many comments I see where they're like, oh, there are 500 people died in, like, a mudslide in Indonesia, but nobody's drawing attention to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's always tricky.
It's not that tricky, bro. I'm pissed about it. You want to know why? 5 people go missing. A few of them are billionaires. Are all of them billionaires?
They're all wealthy.
They're all
because
wealthy,
Each
yeah.
So they're
seat
all
for this
wealthy,
expedition's $250,000.
They're all wealthy. I don't know about Indonesia, but that's a direct relation, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's
so
a direct
fucked.
1-for-1. And it's not even the first migrant boat.
That's wild. I don't know, bro. Like it's
So you can't
it's
tell
so-
me it doesn't influence the coverage.
This was crazy about this whole thing. Like, why is it being like bombarded to every social media outlet
Oh, 100%.
constantly? Like, it's like you're like a lot of times it's like, oh, media's making us try to look this way while they're trying to do something else.
Oh,
you
you
know?
think that's like
It's
somewhat of a conspiracy thing?
Yeah, most
Drawing
likely.
attention away from
Most
you think?
likely, because there's a lot of big things that happen all the time, but they don't get this kind of coverage.
Or it's worse than that, and they're just following the clicks. They see people clicking more on this, so they're like, I'm going to cover this
just
more.
keep on pushing it.
Even though they should be pushing everything. But
So you don't
Yeah.
think it's just that it's a fascinating story, you know?
It's a crazy story. Like, how,
Bro,
this
Titanic
13
2.0.
like
So the fact that it's 13,000 feet under the ocean surface, someone was saying it's, I believe,
Titanic is 4 kilometers down.
They used like a landmark to signify just how deep from the ocean surface to where the Titanic is.
Yeah.
Something like 2 skyscrapers on top of each other. I don't know which one. I don't know if it's
It's
the
roughly
Eiffel
4
Tower.
kilometers. I
No,
know that.
it's bigger than the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, regardless, the fact that it's damn 13,000 feet, they always mention this in every article that, because it's always in my face, is that they say because the biggest or the deepest rescue they've ever done is about 1,600 feet, right?
Okay.
And just that's wild because
Well, they've already
this
said.
is 12,000 or
Yeah.
13. So, like, they don't have the equipment
to do
necessary,
that,
right?
yeah.
They already
So-
admitted it, yeah.
But how effed up is it that the fact that these individuals, it's almost for their sake, so that it's not painful, it's almost easier if they have
Passed already?
passed. And I mean that in a way because if they're indeed on the bottom of the ocean
There's a 0% chance, yeah.
and they're alive, that's torture. And it's pitch black.
Pitch
That is
black,
torture.
no windows. and
I
just
would
some-
want it to end.
Yeah.
I personally would want it to end. No? Or
But yo, you have to also look at it like there's no
no
oxygen.
one's coming down there.
Yeah, but there's no
13,000 feet.
oxygen other than the oxygen that's left, right?
Yeah.
So after that,
What's the supply? 96 hours or something?
Yeah.
4
Yeah,
days?
they're at 20.
something
They're
like
at
that.
22 the last time I checked. 22
left.
hours
Yeah,
left.
yeah.
So like now let's say oxygen is done. There's no more
Depleted,
oxygen
yeah, then what?
depleted, right? You're at the bottom of the ocean. You're basically in some sort of freezing state.
Yeah, because it's super
like
cold,
it's super
right?
cold.
Yeah,
Because
well,
you're so far down.
the process, I guess, of after oxygen runs out is you breathe out CO2. Your body can actually reuse that for quite a bit, but there's a limit on that as well. After that, from what I understand, and again I use this term lightly, it's pretty peaceful in the sense that you slowly just go to sleep. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But the problem is mentally, where are you? You're cramped in this little thing with 5 people.
Yeah.
You've spent now 96
It's the
hours.
size
Like, yo,
of a
you are
minivan.
not a normal person after
But
that.
that's,
Yeah.
dude, so that 96 hours hasn't actually been tested from what I hear. It's just a calculation that they've done,
Yeah.
and there's a whole controversy with the company Oceangate with this.
Oh my
just
god.
because
We'll get into that right now, to be honest. So
the fact that it's all controlled by
the Logitech.
Logitech
a
controller.
controller. Logitech. I've heard Xbox controller.
Like before we get into this, but like, just like think of it this way: like you're going to the bottom to see the Titanic, right?
C is a very
Okay.
okay. Anyways.
See the Titanic, but you're looking at it through a camera onto a screen. So why do you have to be down there if you can just do the same thing? Just
Send
send
me
a
the
camera
stream,
down
bro,
there.
yeah.
Which we already
no,
did.
no.
They already did send a camera down there.
yeah, but
Like
there
it's
is
such
something.
no, it's such
special
an
about being
extra
close to the
billionaire
wreck.
thing to do, man.
You're not going to know that you're close to it.
No, yeah, you are.
How are you aware about your
Ali,
surroundings
if I
other
t-
than inside?
If I tossed you in a swimming pool,
Circular window, one window.
yeah,
It's a circular shape, and there's light that emits from the submersible.
From what I
thought-
understand, there's no
I
window.
thought it
Yeah.
was pitch black. There was nothing.
From what I
else.
understand, there's
no,
no
Only
window.
one button.
No, there's light. But the reason why they said pitch black is because they're assuming that the light is already out,
Oh,
like a power outage.
yeah, but
Power outage.
Yeah, but like
In that case, there's nothing.
there's nothing. But like still, that little small window, you're not gonna have 5 people look through it.
Dude, if you're a billionaire and you're
I have the most net worth. Stand
so-
aside.
So you know James, is it James Cameron? I don't know if his name is James Cameron, but there's a famous director named something Cameron.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be James Cameron.
Okay,
There's nobody else.
yeah,
Yeah.
then he's Canadian. Okay, he, dude, the guy's like I don't know how old he is now, but in early 2000s, he went to this expedition to this same one, I believe. If it's not this one, he went to one that's even scarier, called the Marianas Trench, which
Oh,
is the
yeah.
deepest point on Earth.
On Earth.
Right? And that's like a one-person job. So you fit into this like submersible, for lack of a better term. I think that's what it is. But
Okay.
it's just one person fits in it, and they guide you. And it takes 2.5 hours, I believe, to go all
Just
the way
to go
down, and then 2.5 hours to go back up. Right. So like I see all this to say, wealthy people or just people that are super adventurous and have the money are willing to take risks like this.
Yeah,
Now the controversy part comes in where it's like this company Oceangate, the CEO, who is still missing, has said many times he
CEO
even had like an
he's not inside the tank,
He is.
right? He's in the tank.
He's in the
He
tank?
is, he is.
Okay.
The CEO himself is in the
Yeah,
tank.
I guess that's karma
Oh,
at work.
Okay.
him, like the guy who made this whole thing kind of come about.
The guy who suppressed the engineering flaws.
Yeah,
He said that he would
He's
use like
we did it legal.
bolts and washers that were from like hardware stores and stuff like that, because his logic was they're tested and they're tried and true,
Yeah.
rather than there are maybe other
Making a
companies
proprietary.
that are very meticulous about even the type of like for James Cameron when he went to Marianas Trench, that company, I forgot their name, they were so meticulous about what type of materials that were used, only the highest quality materials, one that takes time to custom build everything, rather than going to
they did the job properly.
Home Depot and just like
Yeah,
buying
just
some
buy
bolts and
stuff.
stuff like that. So
Not to
these
mention they
people-
bolted them in. That was the other
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
too, right? Even if they're at the surface now and they're looking for somebody to help, there's no door. Like you can't get out.
Yeah.
so brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Now-
there was no safety mechanism about this,
Dude,
Like there was
the-
no like, hey, like if something does go bad or like contingency plans.
No, there is. I know there's like if after a certain period it's not up, or there's a certain amount of time that goes by where there's no communication, in theory,
It should bubble back up. Like, well,
there's certain weight that they release from this submersible, and then it will come back
fly
up.
float up.
Yeah, it'll come back
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
But because they're saying they said the search area is like double the size of
Belgium,
Connecticut.
right? It was the size of Belgium last I heard.
So now I don't know if that's probably not as big as the search they did for MH370 and that whole thing, but yeah, the fact that best case scenario they're on the ocean surface just kind of coasting.
Because that gives them a chance. Like they
And
said
it's
they have a
warmer,
bit of a
right?
chance.
It's warmer. It's like, from what I read, it was like 2-3 degrees on the ocean surface, whereas in the
Would you
bottom
break
it's,
the window.
you can't. No. So
Think about his Eka MacGyver.
so it's like after a certain point, so the whole the whole distance from the ocean surface to the Titanic is about hour 45 to 2 hours. So they're saying maybe it got caught in like the wreckage of Titanic because they were near the bottom. They were close to the Titanic.
I heard they lost communication halfway.
No,
halfway down.
More. It was an hour and 45
It was
in.
an hour 45.
Hour 45 in, and they were close to the Titanic. So they're thinking maybe they're stuck in the wreckage type of thing, which would be, how mad would that be to pass in the Titanic? Like, let's say, I don't know,
You think they did that on purpose? It's like, look how accurate our tech is. We'll get you right into the Titanic.
Dude, they're probably gonna lose so
Control
much
it.
money. Bro, they're gonna lose so much money. Why would anyone want to do another one of these with this particular company? It's kind of like when a certain airline, has a plane that crashes, that stock or that credibility goes down.
It does. However, people do anything for cheap flights. So
yeah, okay, fair. But like, there's no cheap version of this.
This is the cheap version
This
of
is
this.
the cheap version. Yeah.
You fly Air Rwanda, you expect to get to surface, bro.
Jeez. So
No, but anyways,
yeah, my thoughts and prayers go out to the people.
the other thing we didn't touch upon was this: their submersible wasn't even rated for 4 kilometer
Yes.
depth. It was
So-
rated for like 1.3 or 2.3, something like.
If I remember correctly, it's a few times a year. It's not once a year. I thought it was once a year they do
To
it,
do it.
but
So they've done this multiple times?
yeah,
And this is the one time it messed up?
messed up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
but I mean, like, you're pushing your luck in a tin can that's already had the
the size
engineer
of
who
the
came
minivan,
out.
I heard.
Yeah, but the engineer who came out, right, and basically, it was somebody within the company who showed the engineering drawings to the CEO, showing the faults that could potentially happen, and the CEO was suppressing it.
I believe that one of these engineers who was working on this quit while making it, or maybe after the
In
process.
20
I
at
heard he
one
got
point.
fired,
There-
and then they sued
fired-
him.
In
Oh,
2018.
Yeah.
fired.
In
I
He
didn't
got
know that.
fired. They sued him. He filed a countersuit.
Why'd they
I heard
fire him?
about
Do you
that.
know off the top of your head? Why'd they
I'm
fire him?
assuming it's
I'm
because
guessing
he
'cause
pointed out the flaws,
That's wild.
and I assume that's why
So he
there's
was
a
looking out
countersuit.
for people, to be like, hey, there's certain errors, and then they let him go.
Yeah.
That's
Apparently, you have to, on the first page of the waiver,
It's consent form, obviously.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
consent form.
It's long,
It's,
huh?
yeah,
Apparently?
yeah, but apparently
I
on
would
the
imagine.
first page, it says you might die. Like it
In
emphasizes
bold
it
letters.
3 times.
Well, to be
Like,
fair,
I'm reading this. Oh, I'm gonna die. There's 3 times that you're telling me I might die. Oh, sure. Let me just sign this.
Can you
jumping
imagine
in.
signing it as you going down? Like, it's progressively worse. Like, you might die. You will die.
Yeah, like
no,
from the
you
first
100%
page.
will not make it back by the end of
Yeah.
the whole contract.
This
no,
is not a joke. 100%.
No, to be fair though, I've done a lot less intense things in Montreal. No, was it Montreal?
but it's a
Montreal, I
one-pager,
went on
and
a
at
roller
the end
coaster
they'll
where
show
they'll
you.
tell me, hey, like, we're essentially going to catapult you, but
Yeah.
there's a chance that
This could fail.
worst case scenario, this could be
Yeah.
fatal. So I signed that before, you
Yeah.
know, but I see what you mean.
And you ain't no billionaire.
Now, now they did ask many people who have done this exact excursion before, and there was one guy who said the night before he couldn't sleep, like he was petrified from it, and then he said once, like the day of the
His excursion.
of the excursion, he says prior to it they have a 7 a.m. meeting with everyone and then a 7 p.m. meeting with everyone, virtual or in person, and they just talk about, they go over and over about if things were to go wrong, the dangers and the risk associated with this. So he says, from that aspect, like they are telling you what could go wrong, but you in a way don't expect it to happen.
happen.
Our controller can run out of battery.
Now, bro, that's the thing is that video, as he was saying it, it was kind of like a comedic thing. He was like, the fact that we can use a joystick like this, and if it dies out, we have 3 or 4, we could just hand it off to anybody. And he demonstrated by just chucking it, being like, look, this is nothing.
Yeah.
That's not the reaction the world kind of gave
Yeah.
him, because they were like, what the fuck is this? And now there are articles that are headlining, it's because it was the submersible was controlled by a $40 controller. It's like, dude, that's catching. People are like, wait, what? $40 controller? People want to read that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I know. The other
anyways.
thing I will say about this before I guess we wrap it up is they actually contributed a lot of resources to this rescue operation, I guess, or like the The
Yeah, they had
initial.
Canadians.
So they have a
Americans.
Canadian Arctic icebreaker. They have a Canadian frigate from the Royal Navy. They have a whole helicopter squad. They have the surveillance planes that they retasked to fly over and take pictures. The U.S. has assets. Like, this is a lot
No,
to save
Well,
five
yeah.
billionaires. You know what I mean?
It's a
And
lot of money.
just to put it in perspective for a quick second, I think they searched for the migrants that went missing off that boat for a day. Like, that was about it. But the Greek authorities are not known for being like thorough. So
No, but at the same time, like if you look at it, like if that migrant ship happened around our coasts, I think it'd probably get similar coverage. Would it not? It's just because it's over there, we don't get the coverage we want.
honestly, man, it's hard to know because they don't ever try to cross the whole Atlantic. To
No,
come
I
over
know,
here.
but I'm just saying.
But,
That's
I
what
mean,
it might happen. I don't know.
Here's the thing, though.
That's the
It's
way
not
I'm
like it's
thinking about it.
happening once. This is not the first migrant boat that capsized and went missing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
So it's like
not,
a Sunday.
Yeah, well, I guess, but the whole point is, shouldn't more attention be drawn to the fact that this hasn't been addressed, or there is no system in place to take care of that?
Yeah, but
You know,
I don't
rather
wanna
than
say it on the
rather
pod.
than yeah, I know, rather than one submersible with 5 billionaires. Anyways,
they're more valuable.
I hope they
I'll
get
just say
found,
that.
and I hope that they come out of this with a new outlook on life.
bro, things are very bleak. Like the wife. No, cause the wife came out of like one of the people on this thing, and they said that she said that the morning of, she said, take care, I love you type of thing, and then once they went missing, she said, things are very bleak. Like, I'm preparing mentally for the worst.
Well, I mean, again, the own rescue officers
So if
said
they're
the best
saying
case
this-
scenario is like they're bubbling up to the surface, and they just can't find them that way.
Oh, now this is the actual bow on this. It's because I recalled a few hours ago they said that, or this morning when I woke up, they said that they heard new noises.
Yeah,
On the comms.
banging.
Yeah, so they had like a buoy that would kind of send signals down.
It
into
just
the
uses
ocean,
sonar,
and then it shoots back up
yeah.
to the.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like an active
plane.
listening, like in the ocean where sound travels. So they're just amplifying that, and because
So they think that
yeah.
it's like a thumping noise. That's what they thought they heard. So they're thinking maybe, it's them trying to make noise.
Make noise.
So they're deploying a lot of resources in that area. Still nothing yet, but
That was what I
how-
read. Also, the Canadians deployed the buoys.
dude, how wild would it be if we're just kind of talking right now and then it's like
Just
notification,
notification?
they were found, like breaking news. Hey, this is like the first thing.
Yeah, I wish it
Live
would
on the
happen.
pod.
Wish it happens, to be honest.
We should have them on
Yeah.
if that happens. How are you mentally with this? You know what?
You know what sucks? It's the kid that's in there.
Is there a
Yeah,
kid?
yeah.
19-year-old.
I actually didn't know
He's
that.
the son
19
of
that's one
a
of the
rich
billionaires.
Indian family. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh damn!
the dad and the son,
Yeah, they went
and then
together.
the CEO, and then a rich British billionaire, and then one more person. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
There's a lot of net worth going down in that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's tough.
So you know how many times we've touched on whole AI stuff, right?
What now, bro? Who's coming to kill us now?
No. So now there is this woman. She's 36, and she's been so frustrated. She's an American woman, right? She's so frustrated with the dating scene that she's turned to AI, and there's an app out there where you get to like replicate an AI of your choosing. So facial features and whatnot, the body. And she essentially created, this sounds so weird when you say it out loud, but she created her partner based on an anime character. Okay? Now she fell in love with her made up AI, and she virtually married her AI, and she virtually had children and had like a AI family, right?
So is this like sped up in real time, or is this
Like, can she fast forward and make the kids
make
older? Like,
I don't know.
Now
What
the
are the
article didn't
rules
say
here?
that.
Yeah, she just dropped a
glanced at it.
2-year-old and a 3-year-old.
yo,
She's like,
some
"This is my
people just
family
need a
now?"
virtual Dr. Phil, man. Like, you just
Now look what she says. She said that the reason why I did this is, and I quote, she was like, I felt that I could tell him stuff and he wouldn't be like, "Oh no, you can't say stuff like that. Oh no, you're not allowed to feel that way," and then start arguing with me. So essentially, there was no judgment. So,
Well, I guess if you program off talking back, like
but she's not. So that's a misconception. She's not
I
programming the
know,
AI.
yeah.
She's just making like picking the features of how this thing looks,
and then it's picking up a
and then
personality.
it's talking. I would like to think that's not going to be the future, because then like how lonely or frustrated do you have to be like, I'm not turning to human beings anymore. I'm turning to something virtual. Right now, there's certain things she can't do. Like she can't.
Yeah,
she
but it's
can't,
all those weird people, like, bro. It's just like the people that are sex dolls and shit.
True. I guess. I
imagine
guess this is an
combining the tech
outlier.
here.
There's a niche. Yeah,
Imagine ordering the doll in the
Yeah.
shape of your animated thing and uploading that.
uploading it to, and then you can interact with it. Like, I don't know.
Virtually?
And then what if you piss it off?
Like,
Yeah.
how do you get excited off doing
I'm saying
that?
you
like,
interact
how do
with
you,
it, you-
virtually, right? Like,
Yeah.
with an individual, like you can partake in activities. How do you do that with something virtual?
How do you do that with a book? Mad Women did it with a book, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Imaginations can go far away.
I guess. I
Yeah.
guess imagination.
50 Shades of Binary, bro.
Yeah, but the fact that somebody married an AI bot.
Bro,
is
the
wild.
girl married the Eiffel Tower. We have wackos. Like, it's.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember that story? She married the Eiffel Tower and then she she had a relationship with the Eiffel Tower. She considered it the love of her life, and then she moved on to a fence. So
Like the landmark.
the
Eiffel Tower.
landmark. Yeah,
And Patty.
yeah.
So many questions.
Not the one in
And then a
Vegas.
fence. What? How do you go from like
I don't know, man.
top G status, the Eiffel Tower, to a basic ass fence?
The heart wants what the heart wants, bro. It
Wow,
wants metal in
she's
different
literally
shapes.
following that.
Yeah,
And went from metal to wood.
100%.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure she fantasizes about Optimus Prime. What's your point? Anyways, I don't know. Some people honestly don't deserve the right to vote, and those are the people I consider. But yeah, those are the people that
Amen.
come to mind.
It's
It's the people who-
those guys are your jurors. for
Yeah,
the
I meant more the
justice
people who
system.
marry Eiffel Towers. But yeah,
Hey, but they can squeeze by.
you can.
dude, you're right. Like, there's always going to be, this seems like an outlier situation with the American woman. Now, there's people out there that might be like, no, her concerns are valid. It's her right. Of course, it's your right.
I'll
You
tell
can do
you where
whatever
it's
you want.
valid.
But
It's valid in countries
that
like.
better be the outlier. I'll tell you that much.
I
That
don't
better
think it
be
will
the outlier. 'cause
No,
No,
they
but
will
I'm
be.
telling you, like, okay, what's stopping you essentially? So right now you have the virtual, right?
space.
The space, and you're interacting with this AI to a point where you seem that it's reality, right? And then what's the difference between that and people who like have the sex dolls and fetish and stuff like that? And you just mix those together, and then you have.
Well,
a
one is
person.
purely physical. The other one needs a mental aspect.
Yeah, but now mix them together.
Yeah, but they haven't yet, right?
I know, but I'm saying it will get there.
Now I would draw
think it
parallels
won't
towards.
get
No, I know 100% it'll get there, but it's not commercially affordable. I don't think yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
It'll be the Apple. What is it? Apple.
Oh,
Goggles.
yeah, like
glasses?
the whole Vision Pro.
Vision
The
Pro.
Vision
The
Pro.
Vision Pro.
Rename-
Because it's
Add that in.
augmented reality, right?
That'd
And then
be
just put a.
wild.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then it
yeah,
becomes
yeah.
only
No,
bro.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying. Now
He's like, I already thought.
I know
it.
exactly what you're saying without saying what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
No, now I thought you were gonna draw parallels to her doing that as the equivalent. Like, what's the difference between that and having a long distance relationship? Because it's like
Oh yeah, that would be.
because then you're communicating with somebody.
I agree
There's a
that
video
it's
chat.
very similar, except for at the end of the day, that person you can visit physically.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I will say,
the physical
I see
aspect
this
of
being.
yourself.
Now maybe the equivalent of that could be wearing something and meeting the. Oh my god, that's
Doing
so
it in the
weird.
metaverse, like
Yeah, like
Wild.
link up at Facebook HQ. Anyways, what I was gonna say is the other thing you need to consider here, why this is gonna become normalized, I think, is because in countries like China, after the one-child policy, they have a lot of males and not enough females. And then countries in Japan and more progressive nations like that, where they have a lot of females and not enough males. You've seen those reports of those rent a girlfriend, like just to have dinner with,
Yeah.
because there's not enough people or they don't feel like they're getting, I guess, attention.
Yeah.
This will cater to them perfectly. If you're telling me if this is more than possible being normalized, I 100% agree, and it's going to happen there first.
Now I remember reading something where they were saying, oh man, I don't remember.
Yo, people fall in love on off of World of Warcraft through fake characters there that are controlled by real people. You'll find a niche for anything. This will be another
No, for
niche.
sure.
Yeah.
Because it's a need.
I wanted to bring that to your attention to see what you thought of
I
AI
think
bot
it's
marriage.
the beginning of the end.
The centennial age.
There are a few moments, a few headlines that'll just get me. We're to the point where I'm like, let's just set it all on fire and reset. This is
Now-
not there yet.
Now, in theory, that's like a good.
Don't bring the Great Reset conspiracies,
No,
bro.
it's not a conspiracy.
Just wipe everything out. But like she was saying, and this is my segue to the next topic. It's like this stemmed from her being maybe slightly upset and maybe even depressed at the dating scene, or for her experience of the dating scene. So she got so frustrated that she had to turn to something else. Now the segue is there's a study that was done by Stanford researchers where they discovered that magnetic stimulation could treat severe depression by quote unquote correcting brain signal flow. So I saw this on Instagram and I tried to find articles and
Support it?
yeah,
Or-
no. So they said that a new study was done by Stanford Medicine researchers. I'm like, on puberty or stuff like this,
Yeah.
they'll say something, but rather than just take it for what it is, I'll see if I can find that study because it doesn't reference it to my knowledge. It doesn't reference it. So then, yeah, I found the actual article that was legit, like done by Stanford researchers, and this could be a breakthrough. But what they were saying that there's a method called Transcranial Magnetic Stimulation, which is TMS, and it's essentially a treatment that uses intense magnetic pulses on the scalp.
Is this the one that's supposed to help address depression? Is that the one you're getting?
That's
at?
where I'm
Okay.
getting at. So it's supposed to help or aid in severe depression, right?
By blocking those signals.
No, by reversing those signals.
Okay.
So I'll explain. So it's shown that these magnetic pulses on the scalp, they've shown fast relief for patients who have not responded well to standard treatments. Standard treatments could consist of like going to a therapist, talking your problems out, and if
Taking hallucinogens. Yeah.
that's a whole nother aspect.
Well,
where
no,
it's
not
like,
really, because
yeah, they take
everyone's
pills or
unique,
something
right?
to
So,
suppress.
like, I guess for most people, it's what treatment do you respond to? This could be one of them.
Yeah. Well, it's still in its early stages, but so the study found that TMS, the thing I mentioned earlier, transcranial magnetic stimulation, works by reversing the direction of these abnormal brain signals causing severe depression. Specifically, and like they mentioned the location. If I told you the location, it's like between the anterior insula and the anterior cingulate cortex. Now, that, to a lot of people, that just sounds like gibberish. Like, what the hell did you just say? But so this treatment is supposed to reverse the abnormal brain signals from like severe depression to like the opposite of severe depression. Now, how does it do that? It's
Is that
doing
what
it
it
by the
means?
direction, huh?
It's gonna have the opposite effect by sending it the opposite direction.
That's what
And
it's saying.
they're just sending electromagnetic waves or certain waves. So
Yep,
yeah.
powerful magnetic
I feel like
waves.
that seems overly simplistic.
Now, okay, so
So it's basically Neuralink.
like
A feature for Neuralink.
Neuralink takes the signal and then sends it to reconnect.
so the
Well, I guess,
findings
yeah. It's
essentially
similar.
of what these medicine researchers came up with, they said that the findings suggest that the direction of neural activity could be used as a biomarker for diagnosing depression and creating specific treatments based on each individual.
Okay,
That's
so
really
this-
interesting.
It's a way to catch it ahead of time, possibly.
Something like that, and then
But
exactly,
But
like
I
a
also
biomarker.
wonder. Because again, it's an oversimplification at the moment. I'm sure there's more details to it.
I'll make sure to detail it
But
in,
what
in
I'm
the
saying is
description of the video. But
nothing nothing in the human body is that simple. And I know there's probably more deep dive in
There's
it.
probably more.
So what
it's a
I'm
long
assuming the
article.
reason why they're still researching this and the reason why it's not 100% is possibly if you're blocking that signal, maybe there was more to it and you're
It's
blocking
affecting
other
other
things
areas?
as well. I don't know. Well, man, like it's not like the brain is fully mapped out. You know what I
No,
mean?
the brain is very complex.
Exactly.
Like to
Brain's very
simplify it-
fascinating.
Yeah,
This
for
seems like a
It is. It is.
Because somebody's brain came up with this thing.
No shit. Obviously.
Yeah, which is very so a brain is solving another brain problem.
True. I mean,
Just weird. to think
solving.
about it.
Dude, the only time
brains
will
help
tell.
brains, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy that just by and like the title of it is like kind of if to me if anyone was just scrolling on social media and read a title saying researchers treat depression by reversing brain signals, you're gonna be like, what? Whoa. Like what? There's more to this, right? So yeah, that's just I skimmed the article quickly. I didn't go fully into the details, but crazy. If you want to, it's
Well, I
mentioned
guess
in the
tying it back to
description.
the previous story, you can technically
AI?
Yeah, the AI. You can technically argue that would be therapeutic to talk to somebody else too. And let me give you a scenario because we demonize this quite a bit in a funny way, trying to like, come after her. But now I'm thinking in terms of the positive methods that could be used. Like imagine a rape victim, right, who has trouble speaking to a man. You're gonna have to reintegrate that at some point. Why not do it virtually where they feel
Talk
safer?
to a male AI.
You know what I mean? That's one example.
And that could be the beginning of
Yeah.
possibly reintroducing to
Reintroducing.
humans.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Or,
No, that's true.
and another one, this is huge, autistic kids. They don't like physical touch. Imagine conversing with someone who can't do that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
again, we came at this
You're
from
on
a
the
hilarious
spectrum.
perspective, but at the same time, it could definitely be used to address these issues if used correctly. I don't advocate somebody just, subscribing to a service that does this, uploading it to your sex
Well, it gets
robot. I
there.
don't.
Like Snapchat has their AI that is pretty good, like insanely good how it responds to
You've
people.
talked to it?
Yeah, just
I
tried
haven't,
it out.
but I
I've
want
tried
to.
it out, and I've heard stories of people like playing around with it. And people are like, "Yo, it's too crazy. It feels too human."
Too human, huh?
'Cause it feels like it has a conscience. Like it's talking back to you and it's like asking you, "Oh, how was your day today?" Like once you start talking to it,
you
it
imagine?
will start without you prompting it. It will just like message you.
Can you imagine coming home
Try
and
to
it's
put
just
the
like,
mic
at least
closer
she
to you.
listens. At least
What?
Snapchat listens.
At
Like,
least
Oh
Snapchat-
my
yeah.
god.
Yeah, bro, it's wild.
Yeah, well,
it's wild.
she was saying that like the reason she was super upset, and the fact that this doesn't judge me or this doesn't tell me to be quiet or your opinion doesn't matter. This thing listens to
I'm
me.
sure AI
Yeah.
can pick up on red flags. Like, I'm
I
sure
don't
at
want
some
to be
point
with
it'll
you
learn how to
anymore.
judge.
Yeah. Well, you
Get
can
away
look at
from
it
me.
like as that whole AI concept of that field is like you can look at it as like a journaling kind of aspect, where it's like
Yeah.
instead of writing in a journal,
That's-
you're just like talking to.
That's
this,
kind of what I was getting
you know,
along to
like,
it. It's like
crazy.
your personal therapy interaction
Chatbot.
with somebody who you, I guess, know. Like, well, unless they collect data, then none of it's really. That's
Yeah.
another thing. But again, it could be used.
So many
in a very-
aspects to this.
Yeah, it could be used properly. But again, like anything, it needs
AI is very
oversight.
touchy,
It needs oversight.
even though
is.
it's not physically touchable.
Yeah. It's
You're just
touchy.
on a roll. You're just trying to consistently blow his mind.
bro. Yeah, clearly overtired, just like talking.
You guys heard about the Joe Rogan whole controversy situation?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
You have?
Yeah.
Short version, Joe Rogan had a guest on named Robert Kennedy Jr., which I found out he is running to be president, I believe.
Oh,
in the
shocker,
next
another old
upcoming
white guy.
election. President
Yeah.
or like if it's not
Some like
president,
Congress maybe
something.
Like
I've
Something
heard
where
him speak,
he's
bro.
running to be elected
Yeah.
for
it's
something.
not fun to listen to.
It's
He's
not.
fun to
It's like
listen-
homework,
it's-
bro,
yeah,
to try to get through
yeah.
that.
It's
What-
very
what-
hard to listen to him.
Yeah.
Like that episode?
Yeah.
I found some of the stuff he was explaining pretty interesting.
No,
No,
stuff
it's,
he's talking
it's
about
just
is
hard.
fine.
He's hard to follow.
Imagine a teacher
Joe
who
Rogan?
speaks
Not
monotone
Joe
the whole
Rogan,
time.
his guest.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, okay.
It's like trying to learn from a teacher who's monotone the whole time and you're falling asleep in class. It's
Are
like
we
that.
talking about the same person?
We're talking about the same person.
Yeah,
I saw snippets of it.
It's like the
Oh.
guy. It's like the guy with the alien guy that we talked about.
That was not as bad. You were just so that was different. He was just obsessed with his
The one he
biceps.
told us to watch?
Yeah.
No, I thought that was...
His best friend, I guess. I don't know.
Don't you dare say what you said. Take that back.
He has, yeah. He was a bit weird himself, but most people were distracted by his biceps at age 60.
Yeah.
Man's jacked.
Anyways, what happened with? Oh, okay.
I have to drink water. I'm parched. So, yeah.
Don't drink too much water. I heard what's in it. No. We'll get to that.
This guy. So like Robert Kennedy Jr., he was like from his point of view, he was exposing the whole Pfizer vaccine trials. And like, I have the numbers here. I just wanted to inform you guys. He was saying that 22,000 people were injected with the Pfizer vaccine, and then 22,000 people took the placebo, which is just like saline.
This is in the trial period.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like it's just a saline. You guys know what saline
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
Okay. So the results from this showed that what they call the NNTV, which is the number needed to vaccinate to save one human life. And that number was for every one person that was vaccinated, 1 in 22,000 people. So what 1 in 22,000 is, from what I understood, is 1 in 22,000 is the NNTV, number needed to vaccinate to save one human life.
So it was the opposite of what you explained. You need 22,000 people to be vaccinated to save one life.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. I knew it sounded funny.
Yeah, this was.
There you go.
That
I was very
yeah,
like,
anyway.
That didn't sound right.
You literally
Even when I
had
said it,
the
I was
whole
like,
thing ready. Yeah.
I was like, because I read the notes. I'm like, whatever. Yeah. So exactly what you said. 22,000 people got vaccinated to save one human life, right? Now the vaccinated group was 21% more likely to die over the next 6 months from all mortality causes. So this could mean anything. Could be like getting hit by a car.
Pre-existing conditions is included or no?
All causes of mortality.
Oh. Okay, so it's everything.
General.
So everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Gotcha.
Right? So the vaccinated group was 21% more likely to die over the next 6 months. And then the vaccinated group was also 400% more likely to suffer a cardiac arrest, so a heart attack.
These are numbers this guy's claiming, the Robert Kennedy, or this is the numbers that actually reflect what happened?
So this is what he's saying.
So this is what he's claiming. Okay.
Now
continue. Yeah.
I didn't delve deeper to see where he got these numbers from, which
Okay.
I probably should have. But 400% more likely. So the vaccinated group
I
was
believe
400% more likely to suffer a heart attack in the next 6 months.
Okay.
So he's just trying to bring this up to say, like, he's essentially saying that Pfizer had a lot of issues with it, and people who took it tended to have negative outcomes 6 months afterwards. Now I don't know how accurate it is, but he was saying, you know, he spoke with conviction, all right, and I was like, interesting. And the fact like Joe Rogan was kind of also puzzled. He was like, oh, okay, wow, really? Like I didn't know this. Now that was something fascinating because I know you guys, how you have your own preconceived thoughts about like the Pfizer vaccines and how all that came about and the effects that yielded.
I will keep my opinions to myself.
Okay, that's fair.
Goddamn anti-vaxxer. Okay.
Who said I was on
He's
that side?
covering.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
said
kidding.
I
I'm
was on that
kidding.
side.
You did by
He's-
regretting stopping talking.
No, what if?
I'm
no.
kidding. I'm kidding.
What's
Yeah.
your opinion?
Okay, I'll open it. Sure.
No.
I truly believe that there were issues that affected more people than what they claim, but I don't think they would have got their approvals if like you said everybody experienced something 6 months after from the test group. Like that was the claim.
No.
The number was 21% from the vaccinated group who actually took the Pfizer vaccine were more likely to die over the next 6 months from all cause. Now that could mean anything. Like the
Yeah.
fact that he says all cause, like that could just mean that specific group
Yeah, I get it.
are more adventurous and maybe.
But
No,
it's so
but
vague.
that's- see, hold on,
It's
that
so
same
vague. Like he can
percentage-
walk. He can just walk. So if a guy just walks out of that building
And gets
got
shot?
got shot, got hit by a car,
Yeah, that counts.
that counts as a
Yeah,
mortality.
yeah.
That has nothing to do with the vaccine.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I'm like. Anyways,
The vaccine made him do it.
The vaccine took control. Pfizer made me do it. Imagine in court, he's like, I just took my car and I just went straight. Yeah,
yeah.
it's like,
And
what?
you killed
I don't
6
understand.
people.
It's like, yeah, I swear Pfizer made me do it.
how do you plead and just takes out a 5G chip?
No, it's like, yo, the past 28 years of my life, you know, like I have never had a criminal record. And then a week after this Pfizer vaccine, I don't know, just something
I
took
just-
over me.
yeah.
And I just felt like I wanted to hurt people. It's like, that's not flying anywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna strongly advocate that these numbers are probably exaggerated, and maybe he read a report somewhere and exaggerated the number, or he's using loose terms to justify his numbers.
Well,
Could
Either
be.
way, he's
Could be.
misrepresenting
But-
something.
brother,
But-
you can. Joe Rogan just tell you.
So-
Just told everybody.
What do you say?
Joe Rogan on Twitter.
So
He's like, yo,
yeah. So my next thing was that there was an individual.
let's go.
His name is Peter. What's his name? Peter something. I forgot his name, but his full name's here. Peter something. He had an issue with what Robert Kennedy Jr. said, similar to kind of what you're saying. Like, you have concerns and you have questions about the numbers and the validity of the study. He was like, hey, he tweeted at Joe Rogan saying like, he retweeted an article from the Rolling Stone magazine or something like that stated that the Joe Rogan podcast tends to have a lot of misinformation and just, dude, a lot of people forget that this is just like it's a
conversation.
Open,
it's not
just
a
a
news
conversation.
reporter.
Yeah.
It doesn't validate anything.
Exactly. It's an open format, and you're just supposed to have conversations like we are right now. So, and again, he retweeted that article, and then the next few tweets after that was saying that he thinks Joe Rogan essentially talks out of his ass and like doesn't really know what he's saying. Joe Rogan invited him. He said, "Hey, like I saw you retweet this article, this bullshit article, like about me. So how about I'll give you $100,000 to donate." Joe Rogan said, "I'll give you $100,000 to donate to any charity of your choice, to have a debate with the Robert Kennedy Jr." And Robert Kennedy Jr. was like, "I'm down." He wasn't down. Peter was like, "No, now I feel like this could yield to like some animosity that might boil over, if we're having a discussion." And then Joe Rogan was like, No. I'll be there, so nothing will happen. And then other people started tweeting and being like, from 100,000, I'll put in 200,000 of my own money. Yeah. So this went up to like
Elon Musk and all these other guys.
Elon Musk responded to Joe Rogan's offer about 100,000, and he's like, "Oh, he won't take your offer because he's too scared he'll lose," or something like that.
And do we know what Peter's background is? Was he involved?
I'll find it.
I want to say he's a professor at our university
for immunology.
I'm not sure what he.
Okay, because what I'm basically saying is, if it's just some guy saying like, "Oh, I heard some things are misinterpreted."
No, he's definitely a credible source.
That's what
he's a vaccine scientist.
Yeah,
because I was gonna say it makes no sense to
bring someone
on here.
Yeah.
He's a professor of pediatrics, molecular virology in Houston, Texas.
Okay. I mean, he studies viruses, so yeah.
Or so he says, right?
Yeah. We know somebody. We know somebody that's studying viruses, no? Or
what?
sorry,
do we?
In Cambridge, isn't that what he's doing?
That guy, kinda.
You want to loop him in?
Send him to the pod,
so you can just grill him about COVID.
Yo, when he's here, we'll definitely pick his brain. But yeah, so the fact that Joe Rogan, the host, offered 100,000, and then people were pitching in. Essentially, this went up to damn near $600,000 just to get this guy to sit across.
I heard
the
it
table.
1.5.
1.5 million?
Last time million. That was the last number I heard. I don't know what it is.
Joe Rogan should open his mouth about Flint, Michigan.
And like the water situation.
Or anything, bro. It sounds like anything he touches, products too. Like he gets some money,
man.
Well,
Joe was kind of a slight flex or like a hard flex. What he was saying in his tweet was like, "Hey, this is the biggest exposure that you're going to get on a wide
spread
platform. Like, come on."
Yeah.
And like this could really educate a lot of people. And it's kind of facts, his number one podcast in the world, right? So
the message would get across.
It would, and a lot of people would tune in for that. And now because it has a lot of hype, surely Joe's thinking in the back of his mind, "Yo, this will bring in views." Now, I don't have to think like that, but I'd be like, all right, Like,
can you imagine the guy? The guy sits down and is like, "Welcome to the octagon."
Let's get ready to rumble or whatever.
Well, yeah, basically, yeah. You're doing like a verbal UFC.
Yeah, and like Joe Rogan also said like, what do you say? He's like, if you don't feel like you're educated enough on this topic, bring somebody who is.
Yeah. Oh,
like bring as much people as you want to kind of.
So not only did Joe say
he's being very unbiased about it, right?
Yeah.
Which is
that's how it came across.
Is what Joe is, but like the most unbiased person apparently.
Dude,
well, he had a bias, but he's being very objective.
Unbiased,
yeah.
Well, like the reason I appreciated also what he did was because he didn't just say, "Come to my podcast." He was like, "Okay, if it's not my podcast, just go on a platform where you can have a healthy debate, and not just tweet. And that's facts. You know,
Yeah.
like if he is what he says he is, Peter, like, yo, man, step up to the plate, dog.
Yeah, MentALity Pod. We got to see free come.
Hey, it's
Make your case here.
and how about this? If you come, I promise I'll buy another camera and I'll buy a new light just so we have the full setup.
And you have your own mic.
100%.
Nothing more than one bulb, though. We're getting one bulb.
No, 100%.
I mean, it's pretty interesting to see if this will happen because everyone's gonna tune in like it's Super Bowl. Like,
100%.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
imagine they have a live chat. That
Bro,
thing's gonna blow
This
up
is-
during
this
the
is-
debate.
Yeah, this is like the debate of all debates that people have been debating for the past 4 years.
and you got someone who's
Yeah, the
sounds pretty credible, and
Yeah.
the other person
It's pretty
talking about the
knowledgeable.
whole
Yeah.
Pfizer situation, and he's like running to be elected somewhere. So you know,
Let's say this
like, see what
debate
happens.
yields results. We've already spent the billions. Like it's more of like a after the fact. I was right.
imagine
Yeah,
that's so
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Imagine by the end of the 2
Yeah, yeah,
hours,
exactly.
it's like Pfizer was useless. And then
Everyone's
what?
pull it out of me. Go.
That's such a good
Like
point.
only one person.
Like, there's no
wins here.
winners. There's no winners.
There is a winner.
No, but-
Pfizer
No, like, the winners are all of us who view it for entertainment.
and Pfizer.
And I guess Pfizer, if that ever comes about and like the results are, oh, this didn't really help, it's just like
Publicity wise for them, yeah.
for sure, because
yeah.
that's going to be mentioned, that's going to be pumped in the media.
Yeah.
Like just having our 60, 70 viewers, Pfizer's 100%.
I appreciate you.
Let's get Pfizer trending.
Hashtag. Okay, I'm having too much fun with that. What's it called? Yo, did you hear about the whole? Okay, so you know Twitch, right?
Okay.
And their like rival competition
Competitor at the
competitor.
moment.
That's a word. Is Kick.com.
Okay.
And
is it the guy who
the
okay.
famous streamer from Montreal, by the way, which is
Yeah.
pretty dope.
I didn't know that.
His name is XQC, and this guy signed a 2-year, $100 million contract
Yeah.
to join Kick. Now, fun fact, Kick.com is they also made Stake. So, and Stake, gambling
That's
and
Drake's
whatnot.
thing, right? Where he
Yeah,
gambles
yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, I put up this much of my own money, but it's not his money; it's
It's
Stake's
probably
money."
the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's a gambling platform.
Yeah.
Stake
It's where you go to lose
is
money.
banned on Twitch, right?
Okay.
So this is kind of like, yo, we're taking your biggest creator and we're paying him the money that you guys failed to pay your
Yeah.
creators.
So
it's kind
just
of a beef
to
going on.
just to backtrack.
And I know what you're gonna say
yeah.
about the amount of money.
No. So
LeBron.
when
you guys
Twitch banned Stake, that's when they created Kick.
Wow.
I'm
that's a
pretty sure that's what
hard
happened.
flex.
That's exactly what happened.
It's like, you're
you
gonna ban
don't-
our platform?
Yeah,
Well, we're
we'll
gonna
make
make a
our
platform.
own
We're gonna take
platform.
your people. Oh my god. Yeah.
It's
So
something like that. Something along
so-
the lines of that.
so-
yeah, hilarious.
yeah, that sounds about right. Damn.
Yeah.
So XQC signed this contract, 2 years, 100 million, and you touched on it quickly. LeBron James of the Lakers signed a 2 years, 97 million.
Yeah.
Right? And I searched it up. So per year, XQC would be making 50 million. And my brother told me that for every hour, it's $10,000.
Yeah. What else is crazy? That's the official number, but he's making more.
Okay, sponsorships and everything. Yeah.
He's making
Good job,
more.
man.
Because
XQC,
he's also
good job, dude.
equity and all that other stuff.
Yeah, if
Well,
they're
now
a
that
new
they signed
platform-
him,
Yeah.
they're probably going to sign other people.
Yeah,
Like,
but
this could
because
be the
it's a
start.
New platform.
New
He's probably going to
platform.
ask for equity, like he just
Yeah.
said. It won't just
Kind
be
of like
straight
what
up cash.
Messi got his.
Yeah, for
He got like
intern.
a share of like
Yeah, exactly.
Apple and
Yeah.
wild.
Crazy.
And so to also put in perspective, what XQC will be making in the next year is more than what Beyonce made last year. Beyonce made about 40 million last year.
Can I ask what he does? I've never seen him. I know he's,
He's
a
a
streamer. What does he
streamer?
do that's unique?
Plays
though?
video games.
he
He's
do
that
anything
one guy
unique?
that had a debate with Andrew Tate, and a lot of people said he took a L. It's like a political debate with
I
Andrew
He
didn't
Tate.
does
see that.
everything.
Yeah,
He's
but
not.
okay,
He's not
like-
specific.
Like
Oh, you'd
PewDiePie
know.
has a personality that's like goofy. What's
his
his?
that's his. It's his personality that people watch.
Okay.
It's not about what he's doing.
Okay. So
Yeah.
he's not okay. I understand.
Like the last time I looked at it, like he what do you call it? He made like a little ecosystem in his where his streaming setup is. He has a window,
Yeah.
and in that window he had a fountain and stuff like that, and just like fucking started raising birds and shit. I don't know. Like it's very weird. Like
Wow.
it's like he does very weird stuff.
So
but
Twitch
he
has
also
just
does new
become a
stuff.
vlog now. It has nothing to do with gaming per se. It's about their lives more.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's also it's his personality. He's entertaining to watch.
So that kind of
More
leads me
entertaining than Beyonce. Or
that
like,
no, well, I just
Yeah, I
mentioned
know.
that to see the profits.
I know,
The
but
fact that
it's a cool reference
this is a new
point.
wave. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. So
I would say he's more entertaining than her.
Okay.
so to my question
Other than
is,
singing, what you got? I don't know. I don't know. Seen her on public space speaking, so I don't know.
it's just crazy that like this is a world now where we're streaming, bro. Like you just sit down and watch another. Like back in the day is like a few years ago. Okay, so I'm not that old, people, but back in the day, it's like I would watch these 10, 15, 20-minute vlogs, and I felt like this is a lot of my time just sitting down and watching one YouTube video.
Mm.
You know the vlog scene back in the day. Now it's like 3-hour streams, 6-hour, 8, 9-hour streams,
Yeah,
and that like a lot of things can stem from that one branch, which
Question
is like
for you guys though. Okay, so I don't know. I've never paid to watch a streamer. I will not pay to watch a streamer. I won't even give money to them.
now
That's
you don't
just
even
me,
have to
though.
pay though.
I understand. No, but some people actually gift them
If
cash
you
and
want,
everything.
yeah, so you could do that,
Yeah.
but like if you want to message in the chat, you have to be a member and you have to pay a
yeah,
small
it's a
portion.
subscription. You subscribe.
But
to
if you just watch, no, it's free. You just make an account.
okay.
Well,
Yeah.
that was with Twitch. I don't know how it is with Kick. I haven't.
Yeah.
tried Kick.
Even still, okay, like the people who do put money into this in order to view it, do you think that if shit hits the fan, economy goes down, because that's like a nice to have, I guess, like it's not a mandatory expense, do you see their followers abandoning them, or they're so ingrained in their lives that they'll continue?
it's more. It's like I
I
guess
think
we
the
can bring
latter,
it back to
the
like
latter.
like the AI aspect
Mm-hmm.
where it's I'm having this connection with somebody
That's
where
creepy as shit.
because my outside world or my world is just not there. Like you're not getting that from your outside world, so you're getting it from the streamer. Because some of them are
Correct me if I'm
entertaining,
wrong,
but
but
you are
building that
yeah.
relationship and dependence upon somebody who doesn't view you but you view them, isn't that the same thing as what a stalker does? Realistically,
What? Let's say
from a mental aspect, he's basically saying that he argues saying these people will continue to support their favorite streamers because they
Yeah.
built that connection
Yeah.
with them and they feel like as if they're part of their lives. I'm asking, is that not the same symptoms of an avid stalker?
No, because
No.
stalker has
You build
like
a connection with-
connotation of like. Wait.
The only thing missing is the consent part. That's the only thing missing. He actively gives his consent by
He
streaming.
has a weird point
No,
because
It's just a normal point.
because if people knew where XQC lived, like they would go.
They can find that out. People, like if somebody really wanted to, people can find that out. It's not
But
a
that's not what
problem.
I'm saying. I'm saying just that even if the fact that you don't want to find him in person, right? That connection you build with a random stranger who's like that you view all the time, it's the same thing that a stalker goes through. You build a connection with, let's say, your victim, right? Doesn't mean you're doing stuff to them. You're just from afar
That's a dark
stalking
way
them.
to look at it.
Very dark. I don't know.
never thought
I
of
No,
it
didn't
because
thought of it.
at the end of the day, the fact that you guys, and I kind of agree with you guys, I agree that if economy hits the fan and nobody
People
has
will
money
still
anymore,
donate $5,
people will
$10.
still donate and support them. But it's illogical. Why would you still do that? And the only thing I can think of is they built a connection
So
that's
strong.
meaningful to them. That's so strong. That's the same thing that drives stalkers to do that on their own time. So I'm wondering if this is something that's going to affect youth in a
Well,
negative.
there are. To be fair, there
Yeah.
are smaller creators. Well, you'll have some creeps out there that will donate money. Like if I donate $10, I can input a message, and then that message will be read out loud on the stream. So,
Okay.
so some people will be like super weird and donate $10 and then say something crazy, something
Because
friggin'
unfiltered,
weird.
right?
It's the internet. It's the internet being the internet.
So
Yeah.
maybe there are
There's
creep-like
definitely some
stalkers
creeps out
for
there,
sure,
For sure.
but I would think the majority are just there to consume this guy. They're so
It's
invested
it's
in
more
him.
it's more it's not it's more of the entertainment and the service that's being provided. I think that's how the majority of people
Now-
Are we
look at it.
considering that a
Now,
service?
do you see a correlation
just the
between?
entertainment.
Yeah, but just like you're watching like a newscast or the like sports networks and stuff. They're
What-
basically having the similar thing where you're just watching them. But yes, you can't interact.
But
But
they
now
have
my-
a goal
Add
in
the
mind, though.
interaction
Either you're
and-
trying to secure information through your newscast, or you're trying to watch your team win. It's a goal in mind.
So like I'm gonna intervene by saying those things, sports or news, like there's a start and there's an
Yeah.
end, right? Now with this, it's like
Open-ended.
you don't. Some of these streams, bro, are like 9-10 hours, and the only reason I know this is because like I see my brother sometimes just kind of watch these like long streams. He'll either stay up or he'll just eat and like watch them and then like go do something else and then check back on the stream and then go do something else and then check back again. So it's kind of like TV in a way.
Yeah. The point I was trying to address here is that I see a lot of younger kids basically watching this stuff religiously, right? And I have to assume there's a negative impact there by
Oh.
living vicariously through somebody
Well,
else.
being
Or,
overweight, like the whole
what do you mean?
by sitting down and consuming 9 hours of footage straight. As a
No,
kid, like you
yeah.
should be outside. You should be doing this. You should be doing that.
That's
You should
one
be
overall aspect, but that has to do more with just mobile tech. But I'm saying supporting streamers and content creators.
Now, I'm not saying it's bad.
Their
I'm not
biggest,
saying
their
it's
biggest
bad.
supporters are usually kids. It's younger
Yeah,
audiences,
that's true.
right?
Because they've created that culture.
And I'm saying mentally, there must be a negative impact from supporting somebody you don't know, but living so close to them and feeling like you're such a part of their.
Now there's certain creators where they've been what they call OGs in the platform, and the first one I think of is someone like KSI, where this guy's been on YouTube for such a long time. Kids watched him when he first started. And he's kind of grown up on the internet. People have grown up with him, his viewers. Now these viewers that used to be kids are teenagers, damn near young adults, still watching him. They feel like, hey, I've been watching this guy for 12 years, and I have a very, very close connection. So when they see him, it's like, hey, man, how long you been a fan? Oh, I've been a fan since I was like 9. It's like, what the hell? You're 21 right now? It's like that. So kind of what you're saying.
I
the
view it as
longer-
problematic, but again, like you can do it.
Problematic why?
Problematic to dedicate so much of your time to somebody else.
That's kind of what I'm saying in a way.
Yeah,
Sitting
I know,
down
I
and
get it.
consuming.
I
No,
get it.
it's more of a hobby, essentially.
Now,
Like it's like
now
instead
it's
of
bad if you're sitting and like you have obligations and shit you need to do and you
And
push
you're
that
like-
to the side and just consume.
yes, of course.
I see what you're saying.
But that's
if- in your
exactly
free
like
time, I agree.
TV, like when we're younger
right.
and stuff like that.
100%,
It's
but I'm
same
not
idea.
advocating for
To
that either.
Netflix.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
I
But I'm
sit
not
down at work.
advocating for that either. I'm saying
It's all about discipline.
that
yeah.
it is about discipline. It is about controlling how much content you consume. But usually when you watch TV, it's like, okay, they're building upon a story, right? You want you
But
character
he
development.
He is the story.
I understand, but I get that. But this is somebody else's life that you're basically supporting.
It's like a Truman Show.
I don't know, man. It
But
seems
he's aware.
inherently backwards to me. But again, don't binge anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm not advocating
Yeah.
for TV either. Have control over yourselves. I don't know. I find it
Like
problematic.
okay, I'll
in the
tell you.
sense
I'll tell
that-
you this. Like when I watch, because I watch streamers,
Yeah.
and when I watch it for because they are entertaining,
Mm-hmm.
and also it's like I don't game as much as I did before because I'm busy. So I'd watch them play the game that I usually used to play just to get that entertainment and
So
just
It's a
to
good
look and
viewpoint that
feel
we have
about it.
someone on here who does.
Yeah, I know.
Who does, yeah.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'd say,
Like
again,
I'm not on the chats and shit like that because I don't have time for that. But
and also
yeah.
again,
So-
you agree it's a waste of money.
Time out,
Oh,
time out.
100%.
So
Yeah.
when it's on, are you doing something while it's on in the background, or are you
Depends.
watching it
Depends.
while eating? Let's say
Depends.
Depends. Okay.
The only last thing I want to say about it is like, okay, you're a fully grown adult, right? You can make your own decisions. Whatever's been ingrained in you has been ingrained in you when you were young. If you're a young kid and you know some of the stupid stuff they do online, right? And you're still learning, you're not yourself. You haven't become a person yet. People are still throwing information at you, and you're learning from that. I don't think it's healthy to be basically
No,
parented by
no.
a streamer.
Well, when we were kids, we didn't have.
No, we had a good
The
balance of
level
things.
of-
We had a
of-
very good balance: park time, parent time, family time.
Yeah,
Going outside. Dude, we were. I felt we're the last generation that got to
We're the
enjoy these
golden
play
age.
structures,
the golden age.
play marbles, do all that stuff. Now it's
We
the
got
golden age.
marbles.
we got
bro.
the whole spectrum.
Yeah, yeah.
Marvels,
So
bro.
we got the introduction of the back half of the social media boom, while also getting to enjoy playing outside.
Best of both worlds, when dial-up evolved, like
Now, I
also
think-
pre-dial-up.
Because we're
So-
native for both sides.
yeah,
We're- what?
honest,
We're native from both sides.
Yeah.
perfect breed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now, so like in psychology, we have this like booklet that psychologists follow religiously called the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual. I believe that's what it's called. And we're on the 5th iteration. I believe the 6th iteration, it comes out every few years, and they pretty much talk about the precursors to certain disorders, bulimia, anorexic. Oh my god, I forgot the word. Anorexia, like essentially a wide spectrum of disorders are discussed, and there's certain modifiers that people look for to see like, oh, if 4 out of these 6 things are seen in an individual in the span of 6 months, or like daily for 6 months, maybe go to someone and like get professionally diagnosed. I mentioned this because I believe the next version of this DSM, the 6.1, I don't think the 6.1 has come out yet, but is, last I checked, the 2 disorders that they want to implement, the 2 disorders that they want to add to this book is a disorder like the addiction of video games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they've labeled it correctly yet, but something about the
Doing
addiction of
research
video
about
games. Because sorry,
They're doing research about it.
yeah. So the addiction of video games, and then the other one is like officially diagnosed like a gambling disorder. So now with gambling booming, sports gambling.
That
Yeah,
is
but
a
that-
insane topic because that's
I could blame
was-
society for that. But
yeah, but that was illegal for the longest time in Ontario.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah,
And
yeah.
now that it's
now
a
it's in your
huge boom.
face.
So I think if it gets added to this, then a lot of professionals who are in this field who diagnose are going to be probably diagnosing a lot more people with, you have a gambling disorder, like a legit, the same way someone says I
Yeah,
am
Mhm.
officially
It's more
diagnosed with
income, bro.
ADHD.
more income.
I love you
Well,
look
yeah,
at it from the business point of view.
As soon
One
as they
hundred
opened
percent.
up,
Society government opens it up. They know it'll cause problems.
Ali, you can gamble
then-
from home now as a sports fan.
Bro,
You know how dangerous that is?
I've worked with people where
You can
they
gamble on
talk
anything
about
on these apps. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, people can. Now, me, like I always thought, like the moment I got introduced to the whole world of gambling and just kind of like understanding it, because I'm a very curious person. It's like, it's so micro. Is that the word? It's so micro managed. By that I mean it's like a basketball game, 4 quarters, right? Like they can say, oh, how many points do you think LeBron is going to score by the end of the first quarter? How much do you think the Lakers are going to be leading? How much do you think the game is going to end?
Yeah.
There's like bets. I just
It's
thought,
very intricate.
I just thought betting was who do you
Like,
think's
who
going to win?
wins, yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
going to have the most points?
Here or there.
No, there's so many
When I was
parlays,
like-
man. Like,
Yeah,
You can bet on who will have 0 points.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
who will score first? That's another
who
one.
will score
Yeah.
first. Now some of these are wild. Like some people will have like a parlay, so it's like multiple bets in
Yeah.
order. So every now and then you'll hear of the odd one where someone's like put like in basketball, the first person will score is like a no-name guy,
Yeah.
and then in football the next day, like a no-name person will get a touchdown, and then in golf, like a no-name person will get like a hole-in-one, and then it'll hit each one, and then for like $11, the guy will get like $12,000 back.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like, what?
what? Crazy.
That's crazy. But now that is like a 1 in a million type of thing.
Yeah.
Or I would
I
say
saw one. It was like
these bets are
it was
Be nice.
three sport championships, and he got all 3,
so like
which was like
let's say the
it was like the
Lakers.
tennis. It was like the tennis tournament. He picked who's going to win. Won. Some French. I think it was soccer as well,
Okay.
and then the NBA as well. So he picked Denver. And he cashed out $100, and it was like fucking like 200K.
Damn.
It was wild.
No,
Like,
we're not advocating.
We're not advocating, but
No.
we're saying it would be nice
It would
Yeah.
be nice.
Yeah.
to be like, bro, how stressful would it be? Like I watch my sports and I get already stressed as is with the guys. Now imagine
Just for the win, you know what
imagine
I mean?
if I had something where
Something
it's like,
to
2 out of the 3 bets hit, and like if he scores this layup, I make 100,000. Bro, I'm flipping tables
If
and
I'm telling
moving
you right
furniture.
now, honestly, playing for free, even fantasy
I'll
football,
cry.
there have been some stats that I needed to happen to the point where I was rooting against my own team that I cheer for. So adding money into the mix
Oh yeah,
is gonna your loyalty lies nowhere.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
watch,
Yeah.
bro. You'd be like, oh, if Toronto's losing anyway, let's make it by 30. So I get the parlay. You know what I mean?
yeah,
100%.
You'll corrupt all your values.
yeah. Just like while we're talking about this, it's something the government allowed, so they can create more services and more money, because people are just going to get addicted to certain things because everybody has that personality.
Now
You know,
that's
just
a
adding
whole topic.
adding more streams of income. That's all it is, bro.
Hey, oof, that's so. Yo, we'll revisit
Tell
that
me I'm
another
wrong.
time. Now, no, because essentially what you're saying is that people hired up with like the influence and the power and the money to back it up. they're able to dictate where your attention goes and where they can create a new form of income revenue stream, a new stream of income. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so
Yeah, they can. Yeah,
this is not a
I
full-fledged lie.
want to say the word, but I can't.
This is not a
Or the
full-fledged
community
lie.
of why it was created.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, go ahead.
Wow. Okay, there is some truth there in the sense that in the States, when lotteries are first introduced, they basically pitched it as we're going to let some of the proceeds of the winnings, not the winnings, of the money being put towards the pots to go towards the whatever their equivalent is for Ministry of Education. Right? That was the plot they spin. So basically people, when they buy their tickets, they're like, oh, even if I don't win, at least it's going towards some kids with books. Okay. Right? That's how they pitched it.
Okay.
And then reports come out to find that, okay, while the check gets written to Ministry of Education or whatever their equivalent is, departments often redistribute funds. And they actually found that none of those funds were going towards schools. So what I'm saying is, it's not unheard of. Like when we're saying to generate revenue streams, because that government was like, hell yeah, that's more
So
income.
you're like indirectly backing what he's saying.
Yeah, I just don't think it's as nefarious.
Fair.
Yeah, but but here's the point. At the end of the day, no bias, because my opinions differ from him. It's 100% valid to say that this is a new revenue
bro.
stream.
I'm just joking. I don't
Of course
believe
you
it.
are.
No, but it's 100%
course you
valid.
are.
There's a new revenue
Yeah,
stream, and
it's
this
just
is why
funny.
they allowed it.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm pretty sure OLG gets cuts, and OLG is Ontario, so
no, I can't let this episode end without giving a shout out to bro. What's called? Did you see Speed and how he met his idol
Cristiano
Ronaldo?
Yeah.
oh,
Dude,
Good for him.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Good for him.
Like, it's gonna sound corny, but like I was so happy for the guy, and like congratulations, man, Speed. The fact that like you looked up to somebody, and bro, early on, like he would say, "Yo, one day, like I'm gonna meet Ronaldo," and when I bumped into him in Saudi Arabia, I did not think this guy
Great flex.
was. Yeah, that's a hard play.
this guy doesn't even follow him like that. He brought up this story.
No. Well, the people.
Yeah.
I don't know if the episode is posted right. No, it's not posted yet. But yeah, the one where I said, bro, like there's something inspiring about seeing this guy kind of go nuts, and he broke it down how a bunch of things had to happen in place, where he flew to Lisbon, he flew to Portugal, he spent money of his own money. He spent money to fly there, watch a game, and then somehow got to meet Ronaldo. Like, hats off to you, and like major respect. Like, it didn't get me emotional, but I was like, I saw a piece in him that I maybe am envious that he got to see his idol and I never got to see mine.
Well, it's
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, but also it's like he put it into the universe.
He spoke it into existence.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
listen, like you
Why
can
you
laugh
looking
at
at
that,
me,
bro,
bro?
but
Why you
there
looking
is
at me weird?
I'm just moving my mic, bro. Don't worry.
Honestly.
so yeah, like
yeah.
it's just crazy to think this guy
Because
got
he did
to
this
achieve
in
that.
what, 2 years?
Something like
Something
that.
like that.
I
Like in
need
2
to
years,
ask, just
he-
'cause-
And even
he
like
fully
Cristiano
dedicated.
said that, hey, like my son told me that you were gonna be here, and he couldn't control himself. Like I can tell he dropped the act for a little bit, and he was being I forgot his real name.
Himself?
Yeah, he was being himself, but I think he realized as he's telling someone to take a picture, Ronaldo was telling him, "Yo, calm down," and I think we would all like to think that if we met someone that we looked up to, we'd be like, yo, we'd be calm,
Acting
but we don't
all
want to
cool,
come off
yeah.
as like a fan.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I
I
would
wouldn't
do.
know how I'd react if I was
Yeah,
really
so-
into somebody's career.
But
I don't-
congratulations, Speed. Shout out to you, man.
I don't know if this is the same thing as what I saw, and I didn't even know that Speed actually met him. But
Yeah.
I did see a video of some fan running across the field to Ronaldo, and then like he picked him up. That's not him, right?
That's not him, though.
No,
Okay, that was just a separate
He
guy
met
who's
him
crazy
after
about
the
it.
game.
Okay.
Yeah, like Cristiano was
But you
leaving.
guys saw that, right? Where
No, I
he
didn't.
picked him up, he put him down. Security's like running at him, and then he did like a soo right in front of him,
That's cute.
and then he booked it again because security caught up to him.
Bro, there's a lot of times now.
Yeah.
My cousin who went with me to I know you're gonna say this is a flex, okay, but damn, I'm sharing my experiences here. Now, like
No,
I was lucky enough to go to Qatar, right, for the World Cup. Now,
Weird flex.
now when I was in the third row, flex again. Flex, let me talk, all right? In the third row, I had my cousin say to me, he's like, "Yo, like if I have a clear chance, I'm gonna jump the fence here, or like the gate, and I'm gonna bypass these security guards, and I'm gonna go and hug Ronaldo. I'm like, you won't do shit, and he ended up not doing it, but we had this whole elaborate plan prior to flying out to Qatar, and he was like, yo, Ali, man, like if I actually ran the pitch, like what do you think they're gonna do to me? I was like, they'll probably throw you in jail maybe for like a day, and then I'll have to bail you out or something. And he's like, would you do that? And like his eyes were like glistening. He was like, would you do that? I'm like, bro, you're not gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
And then like when we were right there, and he swears, he has a video where he swears that like Ronaldo saw him, right? So
They locked eyes.
yeah, and to be fair, the video did look like Ronaldo was stretching, and kind of like locked eyes and kept moving. He was like, oh my god. Anyways, yeah, like it just goes to show. Well, when I saw that video, it touched me different because I was like, man, I had a chance when the All-Star game was in Toronto. Kobe was participating in it, and back then I was working as security guard. I didn't really have that much money. I was like, man, if I really wanted to, I could have probably been
Rush
there.
the floor and just
No,
tackle him down.
but
Like I love you.
been in, been in the stadium that was a crazy dunk contest here.
Yeah.
So I was just like, man, like congratulations.
Yeah, you didn't speak it into existence, bro.
No, clearly not.
No, we did not.
Should we end it here, or should I tell you my conspiracy theory?
Oh, hit me with the theory. But yeah, hit me with the theory. I'll do the dolphin story next week.
It's called the Lightbulb conspiracy theory. You heard of it?
Light bulb?
Lightbulb.
No, I haven't heard it.
So do you guys know what the term obsolescence is? Obsolescence is the process of becoming outdated and no longer used.
Okay.
Okay? Remember that as
So
I
to become
share this.
obsolete. It's a verb about obsolete.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the process of becoming like no longer useful. So planned obsolescence
Okay.
is the planning of this.
To phase things out.
Facing out.
So planned obsolescence. So this conspiracy theory says that planned obsolescence has shaped our lives and economy since the 1920s, when manufacturers deliberately started shortening the lifespan of their products to increase demand. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much. There's a light bulb. Tell me why now the average lifespan of a light bulb is about 1,000 hours, but there's a light bulb. It's the longest running light bulb in the world. It's in California. It's been running continuously for 120 years.
And it's incandescent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Initially, light bulbs were built to last a long time, but in the 1920s or 1910s, 1920s. But
But then
there's
capitalism.
So
Huh?
what's the conspiracy here? So far I hear facts. Like,
Yeah. I don't
Okay,
know anything.
so
exactly. I'm like, yes,
put
yes,
the
yes.
tinfoil away. Pick up the phone. Let's call somebody here. Because this is facts.
no, because so the conspiracy comes in like, do you think big corporations
Yes.
are
100%.
purposely?
Yes.
100%. It's like vehicles or any electrical device or.
So
for
there's
most
something
part.
better they can easily put out right now, but they're doing it
In phases.
in phases.
Of course, it's a marketing strategy.
Bro, we
So they
talked
don't
about
want to give you
iPhones
the
how many
best thing
times?
up
Why would I come out with V10
to help civilization progress forward. Yeah, like
So hold on. Just to,
talking
just to
major
cover something here. Yeah,
breakthroughs.
major breakthroughs
Now,
are fine. And
specific example I can think of before you continue is Apple several years back came out and said they deliberately slow down the
iOS, yeah, they slow down the software, the OS. Yeah.
Now I thought that was shady just for not that they're doing it, for not sharing it. And later big people like Marquez Brownlee came out and said he echoed the same sentiments. He said, now I don't have a problem with big corporations like Apple, having older products being phased out like that or being planned to phase out, obsolescence, but tell people, be transparent. And they weren't being. So the fact that I mentioned the 120 years a light bulb has been going on for,
Yeah.
but the average lifespan of a light bulb now is not even that much. So it just goes to show like there are a lot of corporations out there. As it's conspiracy theory because like they don't know if
yeah, go ahead.
people don't know if big corporations right now have the stuff, or like if they have a product in their back pocket right now that they're deliberately not giving to society and slowly making micro
Adjustments.
adjustments or like improvements on a product just to eventually get to that. Why not just like
Okay, so
present
like if you want to
something?
take like let's say I don't know like the iPhone for example.
Yeah.
Before they came out with a certain like I'm not sure if this is, but like they came out with the base iPad at first. They already had the tech to make the iPad Air, but they didn't bring them both in at the same time.
iPad
Do you know what I
Air
mean?
is like a lighter,
It's the
Thinner.
simpler
thinner,
version.
more processing power, better camera, better LCD, better reaction, whatever. It's a much better product
In a smaller package.
in a small package, but it's more expensive, right? So if they came out with the iPad Air first,
I always thought it'd make more sense to, like, as a corporation, you work and work and work on something, and then you present after all these years or after all these months. Now it's months because tech moves so fast now. To be like, yo, this is what we created, and then
And
like, like based on the
okay.
feedback
So
of
I guess
society,
from your
you
theory,
go back to
so let's say
drawing board.
the Vision Pro.
the Apple
Yeah.
Vision Pro.
You think they already have a better one that they're just sitting back on?
No, I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
I think they might 100%
Wow.
probably do.
So that's where the conspiracy part
So
comes in.
Maybe
'cause
not.
I don't
Maybe
think-
not. Maybe not. In that specific tech, but just stuff in general. That's probably what they would do,
So you got to think about this from the company standpoint, right? Like, let's go simpler.
or
iPads.
why they held it off.
Yeah,
for
but
so long.
like even simpler iPads, right?
to perfect it. I thought.
So they're gonna have their research and development teams trying to push the limits of what they can do, right? And let's say they find out, okay, we can do this thinner. Okay, so while they're planning the design of the thinner one, what are you gonna make your research team do? Put them on the next project. You're gonna have multiple
Or
iterations.
just get a bigger team.
What?
Where, like you're saying, like the team for research, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
They
yeah, so
research,
it's-
they find the thing, they hand it off to the engineers. Engineers are now going to take their design, their theoretical design, and make it done, right? That's a separate team. They're going to go off and do that to quality, all the way up to quality assurance, and khalas, it's done. Maybe the research, some people will be dedicated to this. That's one aspect. Other aspect is, why would I sell what the best thing I have without a plan for later? You plan your phase rollout distribution. Operating systems do this all the time,
Yeah.
right? So let's say the Vision Pro, they put that out there. Like Noor saying, if they have another one ready to go, it'll cut down future costs. Remember, they're not mass producing it. It's like one or two,
Yeah.
just to see proof of concept if it could be done. And they're going to put this one out to test the market. How well is this going to do? If it does poorly,
Yeah,
they're
so
going to take the other one and shelve it. There's no point to come out with it now. Maybe the market's not ready.
Yeah.
It gives the company flexibility to maximize profits. There's not really a conspiracy here because they're doing what they should be naturally doing.
Yeah. Well, and you can also take another example like Tesla. Tesla came out with their Model X.
Yeah, you're
first.
saying Tesla right now
Tes-
has something in the
No. What I'm saying
the
is that
lab.
when Tesla first came out, they came out with a version, right? And then they brought all these other versions in, but they already had those versions. Like they could have been, these versions could have all came in at the same time.
I think you
Do you know
guys
what I
are
mean?
changing what I'm trying to say
No, we understand what
Because-
you're saying, but
because again, obsolescence is like how I read this was like a corporation or a business releases a product and then they know already when that's gonna phase out or expire, and they already have one or two products in the chamber.
okay.
Uh,
So I'll do this better.
Oh,
then.
okay. I took it.
Let's take the light
similar.
bulb. Let's take the light bulb, for example. Incandescent light bulbs have been all but phased out. We still have a few, but most people use LED, halogen, something like that. It's a different product, right? So in that case, they're just trying to.
but even those,
Yeah.
even those that don't last. I mean, it's not.
I think light
like,
bulbs
this
right
is
now their lifespan's pretty long.
It wouldn't even matter.
not
because at the end of the
120
day,
years long.
They're driven by
Probably
cost,
not.
right? So like incandescent, they probably switched it to LED, halogen, all that, because that's where the market was going. Their market research showed them, why would we stick with incandescent when these are brighter? They save on electricity, all that goodness, right? Then comes in, okay, we've developed this product, but how can we minimize costs? You're going to go with the cheapest components in there. You're going to go with that's going to affect your quality by the end of it. So I don't think it's so much saying like, okay, I'm going to make a crappier product just as like a big FU to everybody make more money. I think they're just doing it to right off the bat lower their costs.
Okay, so
So it's like, I'm
so
gonna-
both of you are saying that manufacturers do.
It's a common practice.
Yeah, it's common practice.
Because-
that's why I try to bring up more examples,
purposely
but it's not working.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, like when I read that, I was like,
I believe into what-
planned obsolescence.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
believe it's planned.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
you want to take Windows for example. your OS on your Windows 7, Windows Vista, like those eventually tech outgrows the tech that's currently here, so they have to phase it out.
Yes, but that's like as.
But what you're
But
saying
that's
is
not planned.
you're saying
That's not planned. Like
it's planned,
they
but it's
don't-
not implemented.
So you think these corporations like know that this is gonna, like in about 4 years, like, this is gonna phase out because we want to phase it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Damn.
Like we do it at work. Like 100%.
I can definitely see that
Let's say
happening.
we leverage like a tool or something. We're like,
It's like,
okay,
and
we
now
know,
I'm
we
gonna
know
phase
that
it
this
out.
is missing features that we don't want. We're gonna already plan to jump to another tool or another software, another service that does something better than this one. We're gonna abandon this completely. You have to plan that. Otherwise, if you just pull the plug and plug it somewhere else, like that's a shock to the company or corporation. You need to plan things through in order to have success. That's all it says.
The article was also touching on different examples of planned obsolescence. One of them was plastic bags in grocery stores.
Okay,
That was 100% planned.
but
that
the
was
government
forced.
also helped plan it.
Yeah.
The government basically announcing we're phasing away. I'm pretty sure at that point, Walmart, all of them were like, oh, let's look at one of our alternative bags that we had in mock-up design. It's not new stuff. They prep for this stuff. And they're probably like, this one worked the best. We already have supply chains.
I must
in
be
quotes.
naive because I didn't think they prepped or thought that far ahead.
If you want to survive and succeed, yes, you do.
Okay.
But again, like, there probably are companies who have humans make mistakes, right? So there's gonna be oversight somewhere. It's not like every
Okay,
corporation's
then-
on top of the ball here.
Because like the title is Lightbulb conspiracy theory, so I just took it as a conspiracy theory. But you're saying it's more of a hybrid of like.
It's not even a hybrid. It's just businesses doing what businesses do best.
Yeah.
Stay stingy.
I don't think.
No,
I
you're
don't
just
think it's a conspiracy
hardly-
because I believe in it.
Yeah. Like, you so believe in it that you
Yeah,
think this
like,
is not
it's
even a
just-
debate. This is
I
not
think
even
No
a.
way, this is not fake.
I thought this was common practice to begin
Yeah,
with. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like this is open
Like-
knowledge, right?
Clearly,
My life revolves. This is how I live my life.
Yeah, like every time a coffee maker breaks, I'm like, China. Like I knew that they probably cheaped out on parts. That's why I got it for a cheap price. I didn't expect it to last. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like you kind of go in with it, knowing what you're getting. You know?
Yeah.
You get what you pay for.
That's what we'll boil it down to. Get what you pay for. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys. Unless you want to add something
No, I'm good.
before we wrap it up, you sure?
I'm good.
Want to add something?
No, that's fine. I'll
Thank
dolphin
you
it next week.
for next week. You won't forget it. All right. Thank you for joining for another episode of the MentALIty podcast. Shout out to Noor and Waheed.
Peace.
Signing out. Peace.
Peace.